Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sofianis Fitriana. I'm as a second presenter of Politeness 1. As Bulilis said before about the theories of politeness, I will try to continue the explaining. Okay. The essence of communications is indeed more reflected in a matter relating to social interactions. In this case, interactions is more accurate as something that has a relationship between communicant and communicator. Western culture is known as a notion that has culture to the point. This culture is indeed very different from the cultures of the Eastern nations, which rely more on politeness. However, it is not only the East that can use language politely, but the West also can use that language. In English dialect, politeness behavior can be demonstrated by using of choice of words or sentences that can be referred to as politeness. Every interactions that people do usually get the impact from their culture and behavior. So, when we do the interactions with them, we will think how to show our politeness to our listener. To show it, we usually adapt it from their culture and behavior. Pragmatic is the one of the study that talks about it, especially in the politeness and interactions. In order to avoid the cultural misunderstandings, which will lead to communications failure, people should tolerate by a certain courtesy criteria. In another hand, I will talk it more in this paper, in this PPT, because when we learn to get sense of interactions, we will examine about politeness and interactions. Okay, for the first, politeness can be identified. There are three identify. The first is politeness is the natural attribute of a good character. The second is politeness is the ability to please others through one's external actions. And politeness is the ideal union between the character of an individual and his external actions. Okay, for the first one is about politeness is the natural attribute of a good character. It means that as the conduct writer would have us believe that good can be only adjudged as being good in conformity with a set of socially accepted form of behavior. And the second, politeness is the ability to please others through one's external actions. It means that with politeness in speaking, we can still maintain the atmosphere between the speaker and listener and not offend. Pleasing people cannot only be done for yourself, but can also come from people around us. And the third is politeness is the ideal union between the character of an individual and his external actions. It means that what is meant by unification here is combinations of character and the way he communicates with polite language. If someone has a good character, then automatically when he communicates with other, he will also choose polite words and language. Then this is the simple example of politeness between students to the teachers. Will be excuse me, Mr. Alex, may I talk with you for a minute? That is very politeness, very used polite words and language. Because the teachers is older than students. And friend to friend will be, hey Ando, wait for a minute. Yeah, this is a daily language. Sorry. And now, there are two first ones. In daily social interactions, people generally behave as if their expectations of their public self-image will appreciated by others. For the first is about FSA or face saving egg. For the second is about FTA or face threatening egg. Okay, for FTA first. FTA, if a speaker says something that represents a threat to another individual. It means that if a speaker says something that is a threat to expectations of others about their self-image, the action is said to be face-threatening act. And then for the second one is FSA. Speaker says something to lessen a possible threat or to maintaining a good self-image. Okay, for someone can say something that has the possibility of a smaller threat. Okay, for the next is about two phases. There are two phases in the politeness theory. For the first, okay, positive phase, and the second one is negative phase. According to Brown and Levinson, negative phases are basic claims to territories, personal preserves, and rights to non-distractions, and positive phases are the positive and consistent image people have of themselves and their desire for approval. Okay, but for positive phase, the need to be accepted, even liked by others, to be treated as a member of the group, and to know that his or her wants are shared by others. For the negative phase, the need to be independent, to have a freedom of actions and not to be imposed by others. In connections with the negative phase and positive phase, it can be concluded that FSA is oriented to the negative phase and prioritizes the interests of others, even including apologize for the disrupting created. For the FSA, like this is called a negative politeness, whereas FSA, which is oriented towards one's positive phase, will tend to show solidarity and emphasize that both parties, speaker and speech partner, want the same thing and the same goal. FSA in this form is called about positive politeness. Okay, the relationship between FSA, FTA, and the negative or the positive. It is for FSA identical like negative politeness. For For FTA, like this called negative politeness, FSA is called positive politeness. Okay, the next is about the principle of politeness. There are 6 principles about politeness. We can call about maxim. Maxim is the language principle in lingual interactions, the rules governing his actions, the use of his language, and his interpretations of the actions and the speech of the interlocutor. There are many principles of politeness. The first one is tact maxims. The second one is generosity maxim, appropriation maxim, the modesty maxim, the agreement maxim, and the last one is the sympathy maxim. For the first, about the tag maxim were found in impositive and commissives. The speaker minimized the cost and correspondingly maximized the benefit to listener. In this maxim, the participant of speech should hold the principle of always reducing their own profits and maximize the profit of others in speaking activities. Minimizes losses to others, maximize profit for others. Okay. About the generosity maxim, about impositives and commissives, the speaker minimizes the benefit and correspondingly maximizes the cost to herself. The third one is about approbations maxim, expressives and assertives. Descriptions is the speaker minimize this price and correspondingly maximize price of the listener. The fourth is modesty maxim, include of expressives and assertives. The speaker minimize price and correspondingly maximize this price of herself. And the fifth about the agreement maxim, include of assertives. The descriptions is the speaker minimize disagreement and correspondingly maximize agreement between herself and the listener. The last is sympathy maxim, include of assertives. The descriptions is the speaker minimizes antipathy and correspondingly maximizes sympathy between herself and the listener. The first one is about tag maxim. Okay, that participants of speech should hold to the principle of always reducing their own profits and maximizing the profits of others in speaking activities. For example, please eat first, son. We were ahead before. In this speech, it is very clear that what the host said really maximizes the guest's profit. The second one is about generosity maxim. With this maxim, participants in speech are expected to respect others. Respect for others will occur if people can reduce profits for themselves and maximize profits for other parties. For example, there is a conversation between boarding boy 1 and boarding boy A and B. Okay, boarding A, boarding girl A, and boarding girl B. There is a typo, I'm sorry. The true is boarding girl. Okay, boarding girl A, let me wash your dirty clothes. I don't have much dirty clothes. Boarding B said that, no need, miss. Later in the afternoon, I will wash too. In these conversations, shows that from this utterance, it can be clearly seen that girl A is trying to maximize the profits of others by adding burdens to himself. This was done by offering help towards the B's dirty clothes. And the next is about approbations maxim. In this maxim, explain that someone will be considered polite if in speech always try to give appreciation to other parties. With this maxim, it is hoped that participants of the speech will not mock one another, praise each other, or demean each other. Speech participants who often mock other speech participants in speaking activities will be said to be rude. It is said so because the act of mocking is an act of disrespect for others. For example, the lecturer A and lecturer B. The lecturer A said that, "Sir, I already started my first lecture for business English class. Anyway, I heard your English was very good." Okay, notification given by lecturer A to his fellow lecturers in the example above was responded to very well, even accompanied by praise from lecturer B. For the next is about modesty maxim. For modesty maxim, for example, Mother A and Mother B. Later you will give a speech at that event, right? Wow, I'll be nervous. In this example above, Miss B did not answer with, "Oh, of course, indeed, that is my strength." No, because Mrs. B reduces praise to herself by saying, "Gosh, I'll be nervous," like that. Okay, for the next is about the agreement maxim. In this maxim, it is hoped that the speech participant can foster compatibility or consensus in speaking activities. If there is agreement or compatibility between the speaker and the speech partner in the speaking activity, each of them can be said to be polite. For example, teacher A and teacher B. Teacher A: "The room is dark, ma'am." Teacher B said, "Hey, what is the switch?" Okay. In the example above, there is a matching perception between teacher A and B. Why? Because that room is dark. Teacher B affirms teacher A's statement that the room is dark and then looks for a switch that provides a member who needs to turn on the light so the room becomes bright. The last one is the sympathy maxim. This maxim is expressed by assertive and expressive utterance. In the maxim of sympathy, it is expected that the speech participant can maximize the attitude of sympathy between one party with another party. If the interlocutor gets success or happiness, the speaker is obliged to give his congratulations. If the interlocutor gets in trouble, or the speaker is worthy of grieving or express condolence as a sign of sympathy. An attitude of antipathy towards one of the speech participants will be considered an impolite act. For example, between student A and student B. Student A said that, "I will have a thesis examination next week." Student B answered, "Wow, congratulations, good luck." Okay, the conversations above shows that student B gives the sympathy or appreciation to the speaker and empathy for students A. Okay, the conclusion is about politeness is generally related to the relationship between two participants, which can be referred to as oneself and others. The courtesy model includes phase 1, negative and positive phase, negative and positive politeness, and then principle of politeness. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for your time. Okay, thank you. Keep health and stay at home. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.